We're going to be live in just a second, guys. Live in studio. Are you leaving? All right, lock up behind you. And hello, Texas. Don't turn that dial. This is the Fly Mackey Show, and I'm your host, Fly Mackey. Good to be with you here tonight. And wow, things are rocking in studio today. Bitcoin's going crazy. The crypto world's going crazy. Donald Trump's going crazy. The world's going crazy. It is amazing what's going on, and I can't believe we get to be here. My mother was alive, she'd say, itty bitty, I can't believe you get to do this stuff. I love it. Hello, Texas, Corpus Christi, and Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Texas, and Lake Charles, Louisiana. Glad to have everyone with us tonight. This show is being sponsored by A1 Roofing out of Arizona. A1 Roofing Solutions. These guys are the stuff, man. Licensed, bonded, insured on their shingle roofs. It's a manufacturer install on their tile roofs. These guys are certified. They know what they're doing. You get what you pay for when you hire someone like A1 Roofing. Woo! Plus, two, they'll teach you how to take your remodeling jobs and turn it into an investment instead of a liability, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, let's get to it, okay? A1 Roofing Solutions. Coming to a place in Texas near you. But for right now, let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. Woo, boy, look at this right here. Wow, Bitcoin, I'm telling you, look at this. Trading right now. $75,172.50. It's taking a little bit of a move. Wow, it's trying. It's making its move. And you see, so what I did here is when I chart, I make it look like for kindergartners, you know, for a 5-year-old, so you can see what's going on. And I do this for me, not for you. But as you see here on this top line and then this bottom line, it sets the lane that it's traveling in. And you can see since it hit its all-time high back in March, that it's been descending and going down. Now it's trying to make its way up, and we'll see what happens. But this is exciting. Look at that. Wow. $65,182.05. Wow is all I've got to say. Look at the trading volume on there. It's a $1.2 trillion market cap. $65,127.94. It's made a nice little run in the last day from 62,000 up to 65. Nice little movement today. Interesting. They're saying at 65,137, it's a good sell. It's a good time to sell. They also have it in the buy position at 65,136 and 85 cents. Right on the money. Both of them, they have that in a buy and sell position. So it's going to get exciting to see what happens with. Wow, that's all I got to say. Talking a little bit today about velocity banking and how to turn your roofing projects into an investment instead of an expense. So if you had somebody to come out, and no matter who the contractor is, as long as they do great work, like our sponsor of the show tonight, then you ought to be just fine, especially when you borrow the money from yourself instead of another financial institution. And when you're able to finance your own projects, like right here, then you can borrow the money. You're borrowing it from your own little banking system. And by the way, just so you know, now our powers that be here over the last 140 years have wanted to dummy down America. But these banking strategies here that we teach have been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, from what history tells us, and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Okay. Long time before they had a credit score, which is a scam. But I can tell you this. I'm not here to put any of our systems down, but I would like to say, we've grown so big and so many people have decided they have not wanted to pay their bills for whatever reason, that we've morphed into a system that's just not ideal for everybody, but it is what it is. Now, when you learn how to borrow from yourself, then and become your own bank, like over here, right here, then you can pay yourself back. And I'll give you an example here. So with the little banking system here, the family banking system, that's how I'll say it, the family banking system, the relative was able to borrow from their bank, which is their whole life insurance. Now, people say, I don't want to get insurance. I can't stand it. Well, for the last 200 years here in America, the whole life insurance policies have been paying out 6% dividend or compounded interest. Let's just say that has been paying that out for 200 years on the average of about 6% a year. Now, there are ways that you can structure this and leave it long term where you don't touch the money. where you're not going to make so much up front. But if you leave it, for 10 years or so, then it starts. And then as you continue to add, you're going to make 30, 40, 60, 70% a year on it. Yes, I said 60, 70% a year. And some of the experts like Stephen Nagel and Christopher Nagel, Christopher Nagel, Stephen Nagy, help me, baby, Jesus, are experts of this stuff. And there's a lot more experts too, but these two guys in particular are some really good experts when it comes to the infinite banking concept. And they can help you, them or their teams can help you structure. They're going to be on our television network. And by the way, congratulations, Winsong Communications and Smart Money Culture Television. You guys know that we are going to be in Tallahassee. And wow, we are so excited. Hold on one second. This is going to be a lot of fun. Smart Money Culture TV. Look at that guy. You see that guy? Do you know who that is right there? Look at that. This is me watching myself on TV. Let's go over here and look at this right here. These are the shows that we're playing. A lot of this is changing too. Today's Thursday, right? And a lot of this is changing because I'm going to take over a lot more airtime. We're going to have A1 and some other teams out here, or some other shows too. Really exciting stuff. There's the Fly Mackey right there. Who knew an Indian could look that good? I got some Mexican in me too. I'm pretty sure there's some other stuff. We'll talk about that later. I look pretty good when I'm all made up. When they put the makeup on you and all that stuff, and you look, that's just hilarious. And here we go. Tallahassee. We'll be live in Tallahassee, Florida next month. We are so excited. Wow, is all I got to say. This is going to be very interesting stuff. Wow, and wow. We'll have our 6th channel. And then Miami, I believe, is coming in December. And then Dallas and Houston. No, Dallas, we're already in Houston. Dallas and Austin in July. So hopefully by then we'll have 100 more channels or stations at that time. But let's see what's going to happen. But congratulations. I'm so excited. I'm very, 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 very excited. You guys, the easiest way to fund your business. Now, people say all the time, if I only had some money, I would do this business, or I would do that business, or I would buy some real estate. Anybody in America can get, let me say it this way. Not everybody has money. And you don't have to have money if you have access to money. And we can teach you or do it for you and show you how to get access to hundreds of thousands in 0% business credit. Sometimes up to a few $100,000 in just a week or less. Yes, I said a few $100,000 in just a week or less. So it just depends on you and what you're willing to want to try to do. But once you have your ducks in order, as they say, it's real easy to get it. Okay. So anybody can get it. And the banks are desperate to give this money out. Desperate. They printed trillions and trillions of dollars. And You just have to know the 1, 2, 3, the ABC, exactly how to make the applications and who to talk to. And so what we've done over the last few years is we've made all the errors. We've done everything, everything right, everything wrong, everything in between that you could imagine. And as we studied this and practiced by making the applications and by talking to the bankers, we have just reversed engineered how to get the credit. And luckily for me, I have a great team around me that's helped me, that makes me look good. I walk around, if you see me, you go, that's one broke dude. And I like to look that way. I think that's the better look. And there was a time where I was pimped out. You know, I love to dress really good, have those really expensive cars. I still do. I still do. But there's a time and a place. And I found that the more that I get, the less that I actually want. I think I'm going through a season, but I can tell you this, I'd rather have than not have, okay? And we live in an economy, we live in a country where there's no reason why you should not have, okay? So don't believe that you cannot get access to money. It's just learning how to do the process. Okay, I'll stop preaching now, but I sure love talking about it. I can tell you that, because anybody in America can get it if they set themselves up the right way. And once again, I've seen people go in and they apply for 10 or 20 cards in one day, and get a few $100,000 and 0% business credit. And that is a great way to start and scale a business. Okay. All right. Let's look at a little Twitter, and then I'm going to talk a little bit. Let's go back to this. Okay. Let's go back to this right here. So a relative borrowed from the family bank, from the policy, and they normally, what they would do, and if you own a home, by the way, those of you doing your construction projects, we're going to show you how to do the velocity banking right behind me here. This is incredible stuff. We just did a project for a young lady named Sopai. Her name is Sopai. I should have just put my hand up. Sopai. But let's get back to this right here first, okay? So the relative borrowed from our bank. I got stuff all over me. Borrowed from our little banking system. And normally what they would do is they would buy a vehicle every 3 to 5 years or so. And their price range was always around $6,000. They could buy newer vehicles if they want to. And there was a time where they could buy new ones when they were younger at will. But as they started getting older, the relative said, no, I like the kind that's a little older, that drives good. I'm going to drive them really hard for 2 or 3 years, and then I'm going to sell them off and get me another one. But this is the price range they were comfortable with. Why? Because the car lot that he had bought 10 or 12 a bunch of cars, would give him a monthly payment of about $300. And then he would pay $300 every month for like 3 to 5 years, and he'd pay it off. More times than not, it would stretch out to about 4 to 5 years. But even if you split it down the middle and you do the math on that, $300 times 12 is $3,600. That's on year 1. On year 2, that's another $3,600. On year 3, that's another $3,600. And on year 4, that's another $3,600. Okay. Rarely would he go past 5, but he would try to do it between 3 and 5 because he was comfortable with getting vehicles at that price and paying it off. And you look at this right here. That's 6, 12, 18, 22. Add the 2. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. So that $6,000 van cost $14,200, which means he bought that little car lot an extra van. He paid for his van, bought them an extra van, and then a little bit left over, another $2,200. So he would 1.5 vans. He would not only pay for his, but he would pay for another 1.5 vans to the finance company of the little car lot. And then when the family started doing the banking system, because our family banking system gets paid about right at 6% a year on that compounded interest. Just borrowed the money from our own bank and then paid the entire truck off one time, just like that. And then he set his auto pay on 300, just like he was paying the finance company. He set his payments on auto pay and paid into our little banking system here, and then paid it off. The very first time he actually set it for 5 years at $18,000 because it was coming back into our family. But that's how he wanted to do it. And then the second time he set it, and we just charged him less interest or less payments. So where do you want this to be? But we always like to make money on our vehicles. And this way here, we were able to the second time. By the way, the second time we did the third time we did this. So let me back up. The first time that we showed him to do this, that's what he had paid. The first time he had done it through the family, he did it this way for the $14,200. And then the next time paid the 6, and we added 40% onto that, because you always want to make money on your own bank. And because this is his money, you're paying yourself back your own interest. So he paid back the $6,000 and made a few more payments. So we made 40% on that $6,000 the second time he had done this. And this is how you make money on your own vehicles. You make them actually worth something. You can do this with anything you're buying, like your kids' college tuitions. You can buy houses out of here. And I'll show you an example right here where Sophie was buying a house. She did buy the house. Now we're stepping in after my hair got a big old thing back then. That's okay. I'm going to wash it tomorrow. Oh, boy. This is how you get your roofing projects and your decking projects and your window projects and anything else that you want to get paid. If you follow this velocity banking strategy here, then you pay yourself back. And the difference with the way this strategy set up, this is the way banking was done, listen to me, for thousands of years. Thousands. We just quit doing this about 100 years ago. And up to after up in the 1800s, early 1800s, past the Civil War, they came up with mortgages where you would pay 80% of the mortgage up front, and then they would finance you. They'd set up a credit line for you on the last 20%. And then you would pay the bank back through that credit line. And then you could go into the stores and buy your food and, whatever you need from the stores, and they put it on the line of credit. You didn't pay them there. You paid through your line of credit. Like if you wanted some shoes or some clothing, you went to the clothing store and you put it on your line of credit. You want to go to a restaurant, you put it on your line of credit there in your local city. And that's how they collected. Times were different. And in 1903, somewhere in the early 1900s, but it was about 1903, then the really wealthy of the world, and here in America, those who were running the financial systems here in America, decided they wanted to do something different because this country was really growing and a lot of people were getting wealthy. And when I say wealthy, they were just doing good for themselves. So here, this is how you pay for your, let's just talk about roofs, because let's say you need a roof and it's a 50,000. By the way, I talked to somebody today, 100,000 to do a roof, $100,000 in Orange County to do a roof. Wow. But it is what it is. So in this case here, let me just I'm going to run down this little strategy here. I've got about 35 minutes. And then I'm going to show you how by following this velocity banking strategy, how SoPi can not only take control of her dollars, what goes out, comes in and goes out, and how she pays her house off, but also what she does with the interest. $501,504 in interest payments that she's going to make over the next 30 years. Isn't that crazy? So let's go over this for a few minutes, and then I'll show you the structure here, okay? So the $438,000 was the price of the house. She put a $43,800 10% down. Okay. Now what happens is they get these houses. They used to be 20% down, and lately here, the last few years or so since this administration, they've been putting people in houses that can't afford the house. A couple of missed payments, this and that, they're bam. Okay. So she put $43,800 in cash down. It brought that down to $393,200. Okay. She had her monthly payment on this at 6.5%. Where is that here? It's not, it's right here. Bada bing, bada bang. I'm going to add that in. It's 6.5%. That's what she's paying. Okay. On the 6.5%. So she's paying 6.5%. You can't really tell what it looks like. 6.5%. Okay. And so she's going to wind up paying $456,000 in interest payments over 30 years on this $393,200. Her income is $7,000. By the way, you have to have this kind of income to buy this kind of house. $7,000 a month income. Her bills are $2,800. So they want you to be a 40% debt to income ratio or less. And that's where she is right here. Now her monthly payment on this, once again, is $24.94. Okay, I'd already put it up here, $24.94, and her monthly bill. So this is what got her qualified: her income and her bills. Her debt to income was good, and so when she put the $43,000 down, she qualified to get the house. Okay, now the monthly payment puts her at 75%. I just want you to think about that for a second. So the banks put you in a situation, the finance companies, where your debt to income after your mortgage is 75%. which doesn't leave a lot of room for mistakes. I mean, it makes you really tighten your belt, and that's okay too. That's okay too. But a house becomes a liability because most people don't know how to buy real estate, so they buy these houses with roofs that are not good roofs, and they need to be done. So they buy it at full price, and they go, I don't want to pay for a roof. I just paid $400,000 for a house. Why would I want to pay another $50,000? The average price for a $400,000 house is about $50,000. Okay. Now, can you get cheaper? Yes. Are the cheaper roofs going to last? No. And that's okay too. You can get a $20,000 or $30,000 roof, but then again, you're gonna in 5 to 8 years, you're gonna have 5 to 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, somewhere in that neighborhood, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you're doing it again. Okay, because you can't. The materials and having the quality labor and having the company that is licensed, bonded, and insured, and putting the application down, you have to give up something if you want the lesser. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people just want, hey, I want a cheap job, I wanted to come in, but just know when you do that you're going to redo it, and in maximum about 8 years you're going to do it again. And the goal behind getting a roof would be, don't do it but once over the next 50 years or so. Okay. And let me tell you, here's why. We were talking to a customer the other day, and the guy says, no, the prices haven't come up. The price of this roofing system was the same price 14 years ago. And I said, yes, it was, but they were not manufacturer installers. The manufacturer install was less. The manufacturer install, this is the price that they were charging you. The manufacturer install price was even less than that. So, and they had to think about that for a second. So yes, our price was the same as theirs 4 years ago, but we're doing the manufacturer install, or this company was, which means they were going directly to the manufacturer. And what does that mean? They bypassed the distributor. They bypassed the salesman of the distributor. They bypassed the supply house locally where the contractors go and buy the material. And then the contractors typically put a markup on the material. It's just the way it's done. So there's 3 markups plus the mini markup that the contractor is going to put on there. Okay. And so you bypass that when you hire somebody that makes the product. You get it? If you have somebody that makes it and you go, oh, I want them, the guy who made it, to put it on. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. Okay. So the prices are going to be different, but it's going to be a one-time deal. So that thing's going to last you for decades and decades and decades. And then just like your AC guy comes out every single year. And if you own a home and you don't have somebody that comes and look at your air conditioner to service it every summer, you're not being responsible. I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying that somebody did not teach you that that's what you do, because that keeps your warranties. I know from firsthand when I bought a house a few years ago, and as soon as I bought the house, somebody knocked a soccer ball through the front window. The very first week, the water heater went out. The big round thing went out, and then the roof started flying off, all within the first 30 days. It was really, really the first week. And I'd paid full price. I didn't really have a lot of, I had some experience, but not really the experience that I needed. And then this is what I wound up paying. I had to get the roof, but getting back the air conditioning contract insurance company said, well, when's the last time it was serviced? And I said, I don't know. I just bought the house. And they go, did they give you the service agreements? And they're how many, the last 10 years of your air conditioner being serviced. And I said, oh, let me ask. And the guy who sold it to me said, yes, I did. And he says, there's a cabinet in the house and that I left in the house that you bought. And that cabinet has all the service agreements. So they had now they didn't do the roof and the windows were bad, but the air conditioner, they had somebody that had gone up there every year and serviced it. So the insurance company paid for about 40%. I think if I remember correctly, maybe closer to 50%, they paid for the new air conditioner. And just bam, wrote a check, bam, there you go. They said we're giving you 100%. And so I go, wow, the air conditioner cost $15,000 to put up on the roof up there. And I go, well, you only gave me 7. You said you're going to pay 100%. And they go, yeah, that's 100% of that AC that you had up there. The cost of that. We're not going to pay what it costs today, the 15,000. The difference between the 7 and the 15, we're not going to pay that difference. We're going to pay 100% of what your old air conditioner cost, which was right about 7,000. That's what they gave us, 100%. Okay, and so that's how that worked. Does it always work out that way? Not typically, unless you've had somebody that's licensed, bonded, insured, that's doing the service work. It's just like owning a car. If something happens, you have a warranty on the engine when you buy it, and then all of a sudden, it blows up on you. They're going to say, well, when did you change the oil? Well, never. I never changed the oil. Well, the warranty's no good. Okay. And when that happens, you wind up paying for the new engine yourself. Same way with the roof. I've had it 20 years and I paid insurance on my premiums on it every year. Okay. How many times did you have a licensed, bonded, insured roofer go do a welfare check on your roof and up in your attic? Well, none. Okay. So they give you a little to none on the insurance, even though you've been paying for it. Would I be mad? Yeah, I'd be upset, but nobody teaches us. So here we like to teach you exactly what you need to do if you own a home. So if you're listening out there, and I know we have a great audience, just remember, if you own a house and you want your insurance and your warranties for your insurance to work, then you have to have a license, bonded, insured. And in Texas here, we don't have to have the contractors do not have to have a license, bonded, or be insured. But if you want a warranty to be covered, then you have to hire somebody that's licensed, bonded, insured, and knows how to make the application of that roofing system. And if they don't be mad that you don't get paid when you have an issue. That's the way it works. Okay. There's no getting around that. So anyway, unless it's a nature, unless the massive wind comes or tornado or hail and it ruins it that way, then you're going to get some coverage. Then you're going to get some money out of it. But unless that happens, if it's just an old roof and then the wind comes and starts blowing the shingles off, you're not going to get anything for that. Okay. So you have to understand, when you buy a house, they become liabilities if you don't maintain them. So you always want them to be an asset, right? And so anyway, here her bills and the monthly payment, that puts her at about 75% debt to income. So she's really got to be careful what she does with that $2,000 that she's got left over, or the $1,600 that she has left over, and where she's putting that. Okay. So we're not financial advisors. We're just showing the strategy and how it works. She has a credit line of $10,000. and she's got about 30,000 in the stock market. So when she goes to do her business lines of credit, like we're going to help her walk through that process. We're actually going to do it for her. And you can go to smartmoneyculture.tv/credit and fill that out. Fill out the form there, and we'll contact you, and we'll go over everything that we do for you, or we teach you how to do it. It's up to you. If we do it for you, it's a little more. If we teach you, it's a little less. Okay. But once you set yourself up, then your house becomes your business. And then you are the consultant to your house. I love business. I love America. And we're in a system here where everyone should get wealthy. Okay. All right. Now, here, what I said would have been the smarter route was to take her line of credit before she bought the house, because she already had 40,000. She already had money put away, ready to buy the house. She didn't spend all her savings. She put this much. She had this. She had a 700 plus credit score. And she has this right here that she has in her savings, okay, or in the stock market. So she had plenty where she could have easily got a couple of 100,000 and 0% business credit, okay? And and that's the easiest way to fund your business. I saw you'd made a deal, 25 G's. Good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Was it full price?
Unfortunately.
No? How much?
Dropped it, I think like $5,000.
Nice. Still got a good deal. Good job. Now make sure you tell them to watch our programs.
Oh yeah, I told them like.
Yeah, make sure they watch our programs.
His house was like 1.1 million.
So how did they get a roof for 25,000? The whole roof? It couldn't be the whole roof.
It was basically like we were fighting him because his buddy got it for like cheap for like 20,000, and so we were just fighting him. So yeah, and then he had another contractor that like was pricing at 20,000. Like it was just an offhand comment too. It was just like.
Gotcha. Good job. The deal is you brought home the bacon. You bring home the bacon and the beans. Oh boy, that's the way it works. Some will, some won't. That's the way it works. Nice. We got one too.
Really?
Me and Colton.
Today?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm at 55K this week. It's cool.
That's amazing. You need another 50,000, and then you're a $10,000 a month income earner.
Really? Maybe next month.
Yeah, at $100,000. You still got 4 days.
True.
He still got 4 days. He says maybe next month. What are you, stupid? It's today. Do it tomorrow. Go out and sell something. You're like $44,000 away from $100,000. He goes, maybe next month. You see, I get excited and passionate about this. But when you learn how to make $100,000 a year, you'll sell your left nut to learn how to keep that kind of income coming in.
60K is $2,000, and then the 45,000 a week is 1,200.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know that.
Somebody beat us. Somebody beat Colton to that spiff today. All right, America, we're gonna get back to it. But anyway, right here, she had good enough credit with all her.
Sorry, I'm on the phone with us.
Oh yeah, I got you. We're going to. She had good enough price points here with her credit and stuff in order to get a line of credit and then borrow from the credit, and then she could have kept her cash. And all right, now there's a lot of concepts here. I love doing this. Let's talk a little bit about how to pay for these construction projects, and how, with no extra money, no extra payments, learn how to pay for those projects and literally get them at no charge. Okay. So here she's going to pay $456,000 over the next 30 years in interest payments. And so what I recommended was, because of her job, go get herself some 0% business credit cards, and with her consulting business, because she has enough income right here to do this, to go apply for her business 0% business credit. And with her data points, she could easily get somewhere between 50 and a couple of $100,000. And it's not what you get in the beginning, it's what you do with the money, so that you can increase that up into the hundreds of thousands and millions. And I've seen people get a few 100,000 within the first week. You can apply for as many business credit cards as you want. I've seen people apply for 10, 15, and 20 business credit cards in one day, because the business credit doesn't report to your personal credit profile. Now, if you was to max out your personal credit, then it's going to tank your credit score. But if you max out your business credit, it doesn't do anything to you. It never reports to the credit bureaus. So this is why you want to get the business credit versus your personal credit. And it's okay to have personal credit, and high amounts is even better. But you only want to apply for 2 cards a year on personal credit, okay? Anyway, but like I said, you can apply for dozens of business credit cards all in one day. The business doesn't care, because they're never going to report to the credit bureaus. Okay, so here, once again, this was my recommendation. Next time you go, if you have a 740 credit like she has, or plus, and you have this kind of money here with this kind of savings, and you have this kind of cash, instead of using that to pay it, because once you get rid of the cash, it's gone, is to go after the credit instead. Now, with her price points, once again, her data points were so good, she could have got a couple of $100,000 in 0% business credit cards and paid almost the entire house off, at least half of it, at least half. 438 times is 200,000. If she got 200,000, she could have paid almost half the house in one whack, just like that, and then make payments back to herself. So this is the example over here where, and I've done this. I did a show earlier today. This is the last day I'm going to do this show on this particular person, because we have more to put up here. But if she was to take this mortgage that she got and then pay it off with her line of credit, and we'll show you her how to do that right here, then putting her paycheck in, taking her bills out, paycheck in, bills out, check in, check out, in 8.7 years, not 30, 8.7 years, she'll pay off the mortgage. By the way, that mortgage is hers now, because she paid it off with her credit line, and it's a HELOC, and anybody can get it. If you own a home, you should be able to get a HELOC. Okay. So anyway, the 8.7 years, she pays it off, and she saves $288,000 in interest payments. That is 6 homes that she could buy at $40,000, $43,000. Is that amazing or what? Is that amazing or what? Are you bragging? He sold 54,000? Cut it out. Good job. Jeez. You want to do that in a day? She's bragging about that in a week. Jeez. I know hookers down on Van Buren that do more than that. I would not be bragging about being a salesman doing 54,000 in a week. Of course, he's got more than everybody else, so he's doing great work. All right. So that's just my take on that stuff. You guys, don't take yourself so serious. Don't take yourself serious. Don't do it. The minute you think you're somebody, and I've done this many times, I thought I was somebody, and somebody else just comes and puts you right in your place, and they show you how good they are. So learn how to be humbled by this thing, and good job. You're way ahead of everyone else, right? Who's closest to you?
I think
Johnny,
John.
he's got 56.
No, John's got. How much did he have? He sold two in one day. 20,000 and a 10,000. So he's got 30,000.
And then he's got a $30,000 one.
Oh really?
Yeah,
You got one today?
I think it doesn't it say it up there.
John? No, he's only got this.
What? Oh, he had one that backed out. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's what happened. I think Colton, me and Colton, with what we got today is like 30.
You guys got a 30?
Well, we got a 22, 21. Isn't that something? It was full price too. The guy asked for a discount, and because he's a first responder and then a firefighter, and you always want to give those guys. And so when I go into a job, I always give the best I can right there. I give all the discount that I can in advance. I don't mess around with that. I just do exactly, give them the best pricing so they don't ask. And then I tell them, this is the pricing for this system. If you want a different system, you can get it for less, but you can't get this for that. Okay. And so they did give him one, but what I told them was they really should have just said, we'll give you the velocity banking strategy and you'll save 70% on this roof. This roof will cost you 70% less if you follow his strategies. That's a way better discount than giving a 20% discount. That strategy, if you tell them, by the way,
I sold that price yesterday.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
So tonight you should have said, no, I'm going to give you a 70% discount. I'll give you a 70%. You just have to lose enough jobs to do that and say, no, this is the price. But what I will do is I'll have our guy that teaches our velocity banking. He'll show you how to save 70% on this job. 70. Would you rather do 70 or you want the 10 right now? Well, I want both. Can't have both. It's the 70 or the 10 because you're going to have to pay our team to do this. It's going to cost you like 30, 40 grand. So you can bypass that and we'll add it into the service if you buy the house, but I can't give you the discount and that service. This is why I tell you guys all the time, make sure when you go out, America, you want a team. Listen, you want the roof. You don't want a discounted roof because when they discount, what happens? They have to take something off the roof. Something's coming off. The nails, they're lesser nails, lesser material, project manager, no certification on the crews. I mean, you're giving something up. Just know that I beat him down and I got the roof I wanted. Well, it doesn't work that way. Okay. So anyway, you get what you pay for sure. Anyway, that's just a strategy. Good job on that. Bam. Was that 2 today?
No, that was one back to back though. I got one yesterday and then one today.
So if you do 4 of those a week, that's 100 grand. That's 300,000 or 400,000 a month.
That's what I'm working for.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working for.
Yeah.
Shouldn't feel that.
This is why you can't leave the house without a check. You have to say, no, I'm doing it. We're doing it today. Good job, guys. I love being a part of this. That's for sure.
All right, bye. See you tomorrow.
All right. Have a good night. See you in the morning. Bright and early. Don't be late.
All right.
Lock the door.
Gotcha.
This is the time to take a service break. We got about 7 minutes left. We just added a brand new station, Tallahassee, Florida. Man, I am so excited to be in Tallahassee. Next month, we'll be up and running in Tallahassee, Florida. Hold on a second. Okay. This is wonderful. I love this stuff, man. I'm telling you. I love doing this. This show was sponsored by A1 Roofing. Love to have those guys. Bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, bada bang. Bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, bada bang. A1 Roofing out of Phoenix, Arizona. They're not here in Texas, but they're on their way. So don't be afraid to look them up. It's A1 Roofing Solutions, and ask them, when are you coming to Texas? I heard on your shingles, on your asphalt roofs, you do a manufacturer install. Wow. 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 A lot of great contractors in Texas, man. I mean, some of the best contractors around are in Texas. And once again, though, you don't have to be licensed, bonded, and insured. But if you want those warranties after you get it to work in case something happens, then you want somebody who's licensed, bonded, insured, and then manufacturer certified. Anyway, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's take a look at, by the way, this is how you pay for the project. On this run right here, I've got a few minutes. I want to share it with you. Okay. Credit line of 50,000. Okay. And this is how you rinse and repeat on this. You take the 50K and you pay down 50,000 on that, and then you owe the 50,000 on your HELOC. Now I'm only using 50. Some of these HELOCs are 100. My buddy had one for 143,000, but let's just say 50. Income 7,000. Now the roofing project is $24,000. Okay. Now watch this. She's gonna remember, this is zero. This is zero balance on here. I think I can do this in about 3 minutes. She spent the 50, so she has zero balance in that line of credit. And then she's going to get a bill once a month at 7%. Let's do the math on that. We're going to run out of time. We're going to run out of time. We're going to run out of time. She's going to put $7,000 in. We'll take this up in the not this next hour, but the hour after, okay? That's going to bring her credit line up to 7,000, and she's going to borrow back her bills, okay? Now that mortgage payment is going to go away when she pays all this off, but let's just do this. 0, 0. That's 2. I should have known that. 9, 7. Okay, or 6. No. Sorry. All right, help me out, baby Jesus. All right, 0, 0, 2. Oh, I get it. That's a 6. That's a 4. $4,200. Okay, $4,200 in cash flow, and that's the deal. The next month she does the same thing, but the first month she has $4,200 in cash flow. She puts the next month in. Now she's at 11,200. That's a rinse and repeat. And this is how she pays for the roof. It literally take her 5 months to pay for that roof. Maybe 6. We'll go over that on the next hour. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll draw it all out. I'll show you exactly how she pays for that roof. I'll show you exactly how she pays for that roof in this line of credit. It'll be so fun to do this. Get excited about it, okay? All right. This is Fly Mackey with Smart Money Culture TV, and we'll see you 9 o'clock.